All right. What's up, guys? We're back. We got the pooch. We got the smoothie girl. All right, here we go. So, first off, I hope you guys stretched after yesterday's workout. Otherwise, you are probably in a very sad way right now and should probably stretch some more. So go ahead, hit some pigeon pose, try and loosen up all those thrusters a little bit. But to start off the week today, so what we're gonna do for the warm-up, you're gonna do 4 minutes on the clock. You're gonna do 10 single leg lateral line jumps. So again, you can have a real line or a make-believe line. You're just gonna jump back and forth over it for 10 reps. So over is 1, back is 2, 3, 4, etc. And then you'll switch to the other side, same thing, so 10 on both legs. After that, you're gonna do 10 bounding jumps as high as possible. So you're just gonna focus on staying nice and tall as if you were doing like a double under kind of practice drill, but you're gonna jump as high as possible every time. And again, I'm not jumping any higher because ceiling. But you're gonna do 10 bounding jumps as high as you can every rep. And then you're gonna do 20 mountain climbers, 10 on each leg. Again, high plank, knee to elbow, just getting those hip flexors and getting those shoulders warmed up a little bit. You're gonna do that for 4 minutes. So again, really warming up the calves, getting the heart rate up, warming up the core as well. After that, you're gonna do 15 reps of a death march on both sides. So for the death march, I'm gonna stagger my feet about a full foot length apart. Excuse me, Echo. So you're gonna stagger your feet about a full foot length apart. And then we're just going to sweep through from heel to toe, stand back up. And as you go through these reps, you'll try and focus on keeping your back a little bit flatter each time. So again, you can start with a full round and then work your way up to a flatter back. You'll do 15 on one stance, followed by 15 on the other stance. When you're done there, you've got 5 elbow to instep on either side. So again, long lunge, drop the elbow, add a twist, hit it on both sides, 10 total, 5 per side. And then we're gonna finish it up with 5 Cossack squats on each side, and you're gonna do those with a pause. So again, sit nice and low, heel on the ground, hip crease below parallel, chest up, and feel free to hang out for like 10 seconds or so, and then switch over to the other side for the same thing. And you've got 10 total, 5 per leg. After that, our strength work for the day, you're gonna do 5 rounds. We have a little bit of a new exercise today. It's called a weighted kneeling hip thrust. So, what this is going to be, your weight is going to go ideally on your back. So you can use a rucksack, you can use a barbell that's loaded up, anything like that, whatever's comfortable. You can hold a sandbag. But what we're going to do, so you're going to put your feet just underneath your hips, and you're going to start sitting down here. Barbell is going to be on my back. And from this position, I'm gonna squeeze my butt, and I'm gonna come to full hip extension in a relatively explosive way, and you're gonna stop at hip extension. So the goal is not to thrust past full extension. So I don't want to overextend. I just wanna go from here to extension. Back down nice and controlled, squeezing back up. So it's a great way to work the quads in a little bit of a different format, and then at the top, we're still getting that really kind of firm glute squeeze like we were doing a glute bridge or a hip thrust, something like that. So again, quads as I come off the bottom here, and as I extend, I want to squeeze my butt nice and hard. Make sure that I'm getting that activation at the top, and the whole time my belly's nice and tight. When you're done, you can go ahead and drop your weight, so you can pop it off behind you, you can put it on the ground to your side, and then you're gonna do 3 reps of a kneeling jump plus a vertical jump. So, for those, again, I'm going from here, jumping up to my feet, and then I'm jumping right into a vertical jump. So again, I'm trying to do a little bit cleaner one, excuse me. So from here, and then right up. So again, jump to the feet, jump straight up in the air for 3 reps. So kneeling, jump, times 3. If you're not comfortable doing the kneeling part, then you can just do 6 vertical jumps. So again, you can ditch the kneeling if you're not comfortable jumping from your knees up to your feet. So that's your strength work for the day. 5 rounds, resting as needed in between sets. Then your conditioning is some interval work where there's not going to be a whole lot of rest. So what we have is every 2 minutes for 6 sets. You're going to do 15 rushing kettlebell swings. You're going to do 12 goblet reverse lunges, and you're going to do 9 burpees. You should be able to complete all of this work in less than 90 seconds at about, let's say, like 80 to 90% intensity. So what that means is that you should have to go pretty hard to get it done, and your heart rate should definitely be up when you finish, and you shouldn't feel fully recovered for the next round. But you shouldn't have to full out sell your soul to finish in 90 seconds so that you see those round times just plummet as you get into round 2, 3, or 4. So again, when we look at scaling this workout, for the rushing kettlebell swings and the goblet reverse lunges, you should be able to go unbroken. So you should be able to do your 15 Russian swings, and I should go right after my last rep, pull it into my chest, and go right into my reverse lunges. And then from there, the big kicker is going to be the 9 burpees. 9 is a relatively approachable number, so hopefully you can try and stay RX today and still get done in that 1.5-minute range or less. If you are super duper fit and you're finishing this work in like just over a minute and it don't hurt so bad, add a couple burpees. Do 12 instead, or do 15 if you are super, super ballsy today. But again, the goal here is that you should have to sprint, you should have to keep the intensity high, and you should really need that 30 seconds of rest each round. So again, you're looking at about 90 seconds on and then about 30 seconds off for 6 rounds. And by the end, you're probably not going to have a lot of rest. So by the end, by round 5, round 6, you're going to be pushing that 2-minute mark, and that's totally fine. So that's your workout as far as stimulus goes. Now for the movements, again, my Russian kettlebell swing, our most basic hip flexion extension exercise. So what we're doing, shins are vertical to the ground the whole time, feet just about hip width, and I press my hips back, maintaining this vertical shin position, and I make sure that that kettlebell stays mid-thigh. So I keep a nice active shoulder, squeeze them back so that kettlebell stays mid-thigh the whole time, so it's nice and light. And then from here, I want to squeeze my butt as hard as I can and use my glutes and my hamstrings, so use my posterior to get that kettlebell up to eye level. You're going to go for 15 reps. After that, our goblet reverse lunge. You can hold the kettlebell however you see fit. So what I mean by that is as long as it's in a front rack. So here is fine. You can hold handle in hand. Again, I don't really care how you hold this, as long as it is in a front rack position, so in the front of your body. And then it's a reverse lunge. So you're going to step back, making sure to have a 90-degree knee and shin on the front leg, and then have a 90-degree knee on the back leg. And then I'm going to stand all the way back up to full extension. And I'm doing 12 reps total, 6 on each leg. And again, for your burpees, don't do the burpees that will be shameful to the rest of humanity. So what I mean by that is when you get to the top of the rep, make sure that you jump, clap, extend the hips. So I'm here at the top of every single burpee. I'm not staying hunched over. I'm not just kind of standing up and like slouching. Again, make it explosive at the top. Give yourself that little bit of jump, hit extension. That's your workout. For your accessory work for the day, you're going to do anywhere from 50 to 100 leg curls. So again, these are hamstring curls. So we're trying to balance out a little bit of that, quad work that we did earlier, a little bit of the lunge work. So we're just kind of rounding out the legs for the day. A couple ways that you can do these. The best way is your sliding floor curl. So we've been doing these about once a week-ish. They are a great exercise and an incredibly hard variation on a hamstring exercise. But what we're looking to do is from a laying position on the ground, I'm going to start with myself laying down on the ground flat. And then from there, I'm going to pull my heels towards my butt until I get to a glute bridge position. And then I'm going to come back down. Again, very, very difficult, really intense on the hamstrings. If you're not going to do those, you could do some lying leg curls with a band or with a bag. So you could lay down on the ground, and I could do my leg curls this way. Again, if I had a band wrapped around my ankles, or if I had a backpack or some relatively light object kind of lassoed around my feet. Another great way to do these is do them with a partner. So for your hamstring curls, what you can do is just have a partner add a little bit of resistance. So what I could do is I'm just gonna set the camera up and I'm gonna have Caitlin demo real quick. So all that we would do is, sorry, that's just a smoothie glass. So all that we would do is I would lay down on the bench just as I showed you guys a second ago, and then Caitlin would stand off to the side and she would just apply a little bit of pressure on my Achilles. So when I'm laying down here, she would be adding some resistance and I would just pull up to 90, back down, and every time I pulled up, she would just press on my ankles a little bit, making sure that I got an adequate amount of resistance. So again, if you've got a partner or a family member at home, you just want to have them try and apply a relatively even level the entire time. So that's your other option for the hamstring curl. A couple ways that you can do those. Now, last thing we have to talk about is just a little bit of mobility. So for the mobility, we've got a 3-minute forward fold. So from here, feet out in front, grab the toes, and we're just gonna relax forward, stretch out the hamstrings and the low back. Just gonna enjoy that. And then we're gonna go right into a 1-minute figure 4 stretch on either side. Excuse me. And figure 4, again, I'm gonna tuck my foot in on the inside of my thigh here, and I'm gonna lean down the side for a little bit of a QL and a little bit of a hamstring stretch. I'm gonna do that for 1 minute on either side. So that's your training to start the week for Monday. Enjoy. Get after it, enjoy the week. Had some beautiful weather today, so I hope you guys got to enjoy some time outside. And as always, tag us at Forged by Zeus, Palace.Ithaca, CrossFit Queens, and we will see you guys back tomorrow for Tuesday's training.